What's up, Star Wars fans? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. I haven't played this game in 20 years, but this was definitely my favorite game growing up on the N64. I'm going to date myself a little bit. This came out in, I believe, 1996 when I was about 12 years old. And at the time, for those of you who are my age who remember, this is before the prequels. So after Return of the Jedi in 83, there really was no Star Wars content for like a decade until Heir to the Empire by Timothy Zahn came out and the whole Legends thing started. And the 90s really marked sort of like the beginning of like new Star Wars content. For those of us who were hungry for Star Wars in the 90s, this is what we got. And I have to say, this was a fantastic game. No, I actually remember putting like hundreds of hours into this game when I was a kid. I even remember getting Game Informer magazine and trying to beat all of their best times. And this was the only Star Wars content that we had. Wow. Hey, when in doubt, just fly through them, right? Yeah, they pretty much advertised this game on the strength of just like this. This may look really dated and blocky 64-bit graphics now, but believe me, when I was a kid, this was the coolest thing I had ever seen. For those of you who've read the Shadows of the Empire book, it is a really good book. It's a really interesting story. And Dash Rendar is a character that I have always wanted to appear in Star Wars. Since this game, I mean, I just fell in love with Dash Rendar. It was like Han Solo, but not. Dash Rendar has such a cool look. When Force Awakens came out, I was really hoping that they were going to maybe bring Dash Rendar in. But we have yet to see him in an official capacity. But he's a really cool character, and I think it would be really cool if they brought him in. I mean, because I know particularly people my age who played this game as a kid, to see Dash Rendar appear would just be, like, so cool. Yeah, they were able to advertise this game, like, purely on this level alone. As soon as we saw that we were going to get Battle of Hoth, and we were going to be able to do fire tow cables with snow speeders at AT-ATs, this was just sold. I want to play that game. That on top of this being the only Star Wars content we had. So this definitely fed that hunger. Now we're just so spoiled and used to having a wealth of Star Wars stuff to choose from nowadays. You know, it's easy to forget how important this game was. You'll have to forgive me, my 25-year-old N64 controller has a somewhat broken joystick, so I'm having some trouble controlling this. That in addition to me just being old and terrible. But I would love to see Dash Rendar appear somewhere in the new canon. Somebody maybe who knows already can clue me in. I think Dash Rendar, or at least his the Outrider, which is like very similar to the Millennium Falcon, I believe it is canon in some way. I know the ship, there was one that looked identical to it that appeared in an episode of Rebels, I believe it was. So I don't know if Dash Rendar is supposed to be officially canon at this point, but I would love to see him brought into live action. I think, believe me, all the kids from my generation who grew up in the 90s playing this game would lose their collective minds if Dash Rendar appeared with those ludicrous shoulder pads of his. They had to put shoulder pads on Dash Rendar to basically mask the fact that his body parts were clipping, and it just looked terrible. But lo and behold, it made a really cool looking character. Yeah, so I have to remember not to save any of the data here, because I still have the game saved from when I was a kid. And I remember not only getting all the challenge points, but painstakingly going through these levels one by one, trying to beat Game Informer's times. So yes, forgive me, my ancient N64 controller has a broken joystick. Millennium Falcon. Oh boy. 20 years of playing PlayStation and I am trying to move a second joystick that isn't there. Man, what a classic game. I'm reliving so many memories right now. Look at me, I can't even open a door without struggling. Remember there being a challenge point over here. Look at that, you never forget, man. I think that's just a sign that I played this game way too much as a kid. Do not let the womp out. It's not worth it. We basically had a couple of Legends novels, and then when Shadows of the Empire came out, not only was it a good book and a good story, but they had this game, you know, it was accompanied by this game. And N64 was actually relatively new at that point too. This, if I remember, this was like one of the first games, or one of the earlier games that came out on N64. It's still very hard to control this. It's almost like a Wilhelm scream. Another thing that I remember really loving about this game is the music. It's basic because this story takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. All of the music from this game is Empire Strikes Back music. My aim is terrible. Ah! The graphics may look dated now, but believe me, this looked state-of-the-art awesome back in 1996 or whatever it was. There wasn't like the wealth of Star Wars content there is now. There wasn't even prequels yet. I just remember this game fulfilling my Star Wars hunger so much, and I really, really do wish that they bring Dash Rendar into live action at some point. I mean, I think even The Mandalorian would be a perfect opportunity for them to do it, because this is between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, so this would be like, what, like 7 years before The Mandalorian? Dash Rendar would still be a, you know, young guy. People would see this look, if they made him look just like this, they would immediately know who he is. How many kids who are from a younger generation do know about this game? Because I know a lot of people are like Knights of the Old Republic, like the next generation of games after this. You gotta fight an AT-ST, right? Yes. Oh, those don't suck. Oh boy. Shoot me! I'll beat you! Way too easy on the easy setting. Just want to reminisce a little bit, but I do remember a couple stages in this game being insanely difficult, or a couple of the bosses being difficult. Boba Fett is pretty hard, but I remember IG-88 is in this game. Another classic appearance in this game. There's gonna be a guy here, right? Yes. 2 guys! Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to even complete it with this broken controller, but I'm already having fun just reminiscing. You know what? I want a different view. How do I change my view? Yes! Now we're talking. You get torpedoes. Proton torpedoes. Even something like this, which is just like it's like a side level. Yeah, like shooting down TIE fighters seems like such an overdone concept at this point, but this was like the first example of that. In fact, I think that the last level of this game, the Skyhook or whatever it's called, is pretty much X-Wings versus TIE fighters, and that was the first time we really got a taste. Oh boy, okay, I didn't see this. Die, Imperial scum. This just brings you to like Luke and Han shooting down TIE fighters in A New Hope. In the Clone Wars Season 7, we got a glimpse of some like underworld bad guys, and that included Prince Shizor or Zizor or however you say his name from this. So we know he's canon, but I don't think Dash Rendar has appeared at any point. I really want them to. Zizor, Shizor, anybody know how to say it? Gotta love these 90s graphics. IG-88. This is the level that sucks. Ord Mantell junkyard. You ride a train. This is great because Empire Strikes Back, where Leia's like, "Where are you going, Han?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, that bounty hunter we ran into on Ord Mantell really changed my mind." It's funny because he could be referring to IG-88 there, because as we see in this video game, the Ord Mantell junkyard, the boss is IG-88, and the way I remember it playing this as a kid, this is just like one of the middle levels of this game, but this is potentially like the hardest level in the entire game. Just the physics are always really hard to deal with. Oh my god, you have to time it like... This is nearly impossible. Yeah, this is where you crouch. Oh, I missed it. Oh well. Right, this is that great Empire Strikes Back music when that one pilot is looking for Han Solo. Forgot you gotta shoot those things. So yeah, this game has IG-88, it has Boba Fett. And although Caesar, whatever his name is supposed to be like the main bad guy of the game, you never actually see him at any point, ever. You blow up his space station at the end, but he never makes an appearance. The fact that he's like the main bad guy in the game, but you never have to actually face him, that's a little bit of a disappointment. One of the bosses towards the end is the Dianoga, the tentacle creature that ensnares Luke on the Death Star in A New Hope. Right, there's just like so much cool Star Wars content in this game. You can imagine, like, back in the 90s, before any extra Star Wars content existed, having this, it really fed that hunger. It really filled the void for our Star Wars hunger. You know, I know I have it set on easy, but honestly, I remember this being a lot harder than this level. I'm probably speaking way too soon. Do I want to go for the challenge point? It gives me extra lives. I haven't died yet, though, have I? That would have been funny if I had died right there. Oh, well, I spoke way too soon. Jump to the next train. All right, here's the real test, man. See if I can beat IG-88. Nice. No one will stop me. Yeah, probably not even me. This level really made my heart pound. Let's see if we can go find some health. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Die! Boba Fett was in the Tsar system. He must be on the Imperial moon base Gal. If I remember, this is like the longest level in this whole game. But it's really cool, and you get to play Boba Fett at the end, which is like, he's like a double boss, because first you have to beat him, and then you have to beat Slave One. Look at me, I even remember where to get the challenge points. 20 years later. That's how much I played this game as a kid. Shoot those things before they become a problem. Playing this game makes me feel like I'm 12 years old again. Die, Imperial scum! Oh, Wampa. Oh god, it's gonna get me. Oh god. Yeesh. Forgot how much damage those things can take. Well, that guy was waiting for me. Oh. Ah, I wanted him to fall off and do that. Ah! And in the tradition of Star Wars, the long tradition of there being precarious ledges with no guardrails on them. Ooh. Those droids have aimbot, huh? Literally. Ugh. It's that kind of thing that annoys me. Jetpack, baby. Or the key is to not hold the thrust button. You gotta use it a little bit at a time. Pulse cannon. Cool. You think you need those to... Those help you beat Boba Fett, I think. It's so funny. Like, I remember all of this, but it also seems so new at the same time. Couldn't do anything about it. Hey, yeah, I'm a snowtrooper, and my job requires that I stand in a ventilation duct all day with no one but a droid to talk to. There it is. Let's have the switch for the door on the opposite side of the room from the door, because putting it next to the door would make as much sense as having guardrails. Oh my god, this is so hard to control, people! Come on, Dash, you know what I want you to do. Oh! How did I not see that guy? Long elevator ride. Oh! Uh-oh, we're at Boba Fett. I didn't realize it came this quickly. Sweet. It's so fun seeing this now that we've seen not only Boba Fett, but Slave One appear in The Mandalorian. Alright, let's see if we can make this work. There are some funny goodies out here. The good thing is Boba Fett doesn't follow you out here. And then there's more stuff down here. How many people watching this knew about this? I remember all this stuff, man. Let's try the pulse. Oh, that was a good one. Oh. Land right on that health. Yeah, the aim is just terrible, dude. See, I'm like trying to get the laser on him, but it's like... Oh, okay, you can actually shoot down Seekers. Cool. Alright, now I gotta beat Slave 1. Which I can probably just hit it with Seekers, right? I hope. Let's see, it's probably gonna annihilate me. So yeah, maybe you do just kind of a little bit at a time. It's missing me. Oh, this is awesome. Well, I'm exploiting a glitch right now. Alright. And because Boba Fett appears in Return of the Jedi, you can't see him die here. So Slave 1 just kind of retreats. This, the Mos Eisley and Beggar's Canyon, these swoop bikes, this was the coolest thing I had ever seen when I was 12 years old. The fact that pod racing didn't even exist yet at this point. This was before the prequels. There were no prequels. There was some expanded universe, like a couple of novels, and obviously like some art material. But really, Shadows of the Empire is when the expanded universe really began to expand. And this video game was at the heart of that. And for those of you who haven't read the Shadows of the Empire novel, I definitely highly recommend it. It's fun. I mean, you've seen this game is actually centered around Dash Rendar, whereas the novel he's more of a side character, but oh man, I forgot how hard this was. Seeing this, because when I was a kid, Return of the Jedi, the speeder bikes on Endor were easily my favorite part of the movie. It's one of my favorite moments in Star Wars as a kid was watching that speeder bike scene. So seeing this level in this video game bring that to life really had me enthralled as a kid. Like I said, I used to get Game Informer magazine, and they had like their best times posted. And I spent like the better part of like the entire summer that year trying to beat the Game Informer best time. It was like 3 minutes and 21 seconds or something like that. And I remember like tying it. I remember doing this level probably 1,000 times or more. Probably more than that. I'm trying to kill these guys, not outrun them. There's no outrunning them. They only go as fast as you do. And then anyway, yeah, I would try and do this level over and over again, because I really wanted to beat the Game Informer time. And I remember I finally got it. I think we could probably see it. Oh, that didn't kill that guy? Yeah, okay. But I got like 3 minutes and like 9 seconds or something like that. And I thought that I had become the best video gamer in the world. I'm not even going full speed, mind you, right now. Like when you really crank it, I can't do it without crashing. But I had this whole level memorized. to the point where I could go the whole level without crashing like that once. You really gotta concentrate, man. But yeah, if you do like a flawless run in this, you can probably crack 3 minutes. I don't know, like this was 1996. In the 24 years since then, I'm sure somebody's beaten 3 minutes, right? I'm gonna have to look online after this because I'm sure at this point somebody's made a new record. There's probably some kid out there who's done this in 2 minutes. N64 was already like a revolutionary game system, but you add on top of it, this game was the only piece of new Star Wars that we had. And you're telling me I can fly a snowspeeder on Hoth and I can be on a swoop bike on Mos Eisley and feel like I'm in Return of the Jedi going 200 miles an hour? I remember I had to buy the game at Toys R Us, which doesn't exist anymore, by the way, but I called them every single day for like a month. Do you have Shadows of the Empire yet? No. And I would call them at, like, there was no, like, the internet existed in 1996, but it wasn't just like widely around like it is today. Like, if you had the internet, you were probably pretty well set up. You couldn't just get information online like you can now. You had to call. You had to like go to the phone book and be like, what's Toys R Us's number? Say, oh yeah, here, look at this. 3 minutes and 4 seconds is what my record was. Wow. So I'm going to have to see what the current record is, but 3 minutes and 4 seconds was the best that I could do when I was 12 years old. And like I said, I must have done this level 1,000 times. That's amazing. So no, I'm not updating. He kind of looks like Kevin Costner, Dash Rendar. I think I remember thinking that when I was a kid. I think one of the people that helped design Dash Rendar actually says that too, that at times he looks like, in this, he looks like Kevin Costner or sometimes Don Johnson even. But yeah, you could just get any like hot stud to play him. He's kind of like Cobb Vanth. Like that Timothy Oliphant fit right in, which is funny because that would have been like, he would have been a good option to play Dash Rendar, I think. I don't know, who do you guys think would make a good Dash Rendar? Put it in the comments below if you think Dash Rendar is worthy of a live action appearance, and who you think would be good to play him. This looks like even if my controller was working, this would still be kind of a pain in the ass right here. Alright, let me know, class. Is this for people whose equipment isn't malfunctioning? Is this supposed to be this hard? Oh, it just like spits you out with like bad guys right in front of you and no way to block yourself. Can you shoot this thing in the face? Who's gonna die first? Yeah, this thing's easy. Okay. All you gotta do is point and shoot. Oh! Getting close. Okay, good. See, like the way they have it all set up, they have it so that like Dash is like helping Han and Luke find Leia, or like helping them escape. It's cool because it's all mixed together. I just remember thinking of Dash Rendar as like important to the Star Wars story because of stuff like this. You can hear the Dianoga. How do you get past this? I think you just gotta run, right? Oh, apparently not. I can't see a thing, dude.